Justice Malala, political analyst, is with us. Good to see you, Justice. Well, basically, three main events of the afternoon, if you like to call it that. Richard Baloyi, Tokyo Sexwale, and Dina Pule without work this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, the Dina Pule sacking was definitely expected. Well, was definitely demanded by the public. A lot of people have said, here are allegations which have been going for a year and a half. She's failed consistently to really show that she wasn't guilty of the allegations which first surfaced in the Sunday Times and have been all over the newspapers and the media for the past 18 months. So that was to be expected. Tokyo Sexwale, in a sense, yes, that was to be expected. This is a man who had shown great ambition to become president of the ANC one day. He failed to unseat Thabo Mbeki, failed to unseat Jacob Zuma and Mangaung in December. And so, this is someone who I think also became bored in their job. And despite the fact that President Zuma has not moved against Kgalema Motlanthe, Fikile Mbalula, Paul Mashatile, all the forces of change, as it was called in the period up to Mangaung, this one was definitely a goer. Richard Baloyi, quiet minister, not managed to get rid of a very bitter municipal strike about 2 years ago, but not flamboyant, but not expected to be moved as such. If you think about the past three reshuffles, they've definitely been occasioned by wrongdoing, and Baloyi has been someone who has been very quiet. And the swapping of Dipuo Peters and Ben Martins, not sure what's that supposed to show, really.
How well did Ben Martins do during his short stint as transport minister?
Look, I mean, there's a big issue, and it's the e-toll saga in transport. He hasn't managed to resolve that. Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe is now dealing with it. COSATU, which was supposed to go into a tripartite alliance meeting with the ANC this past weekend, and the e-toll saga was going to be a big issue, it has not been happy. So maybe he's being moved to make way for someone who might cave in or find a solution to that. I'm not sure. He hasn't blown the lights out. He's not one of those ministers you can say, wow, this guy's like Aaron Motsoaledi or some of the better ministers in this cabinet. Dipuo Peters, extremely quiet in energy. There have been massive issues around energy, around the price of energy, around with Malusi Gigaba about the Medupi power station. She's been extremely quiet, but she hasn't been moved. She's just been given a new job to learn. Joanne, here's the key thing. For me, it's a tweaking. I'm not sure if it's a major Jacob Zuma saying, I want to achieve this. And maybe we need to look back and say, it's 9 months before an election. Can he afford to do this? Who are the people who he got rid of? None of the people who've been moved or gotten rid of are politically powerful. So President Zuma remains master and commander inside the ANC because none of these people are going to pose any threat whatsoever to him.
Well, you make an important point. I mean, 9 months before an election, one would presume this to be a bit of a risky action. Why would he have done it so close to the ballot?
He did it because he knows he can get away with it. It's not risky. Dina Pule has no base inside the ANC. She's one of those people who cannot start a mobilization campaign against him in any way. President Zuma got 75% of the vote in Mangaung. He's very secure. Tokyo Sexwale has been totally whipped in Mangaung. I think he got about 26% of the, in fact, he split the vote with Matthew Sposa for the deputy presidency. So, these are people who cannot have any effect on Jacob Zuma inside the party. So it's to be expected.
We are running out of time, Justice. Let's have a quick comment from you on what he didn't do. I mean, we look at ministers like Angie Motshekga, Thulas Nxesi, who are staying put. Yes. What does that mean?
Indeed. I think those are key supporters of his. Remember, Angie Motshekga is the president of the ANC Women's League. She delivered the ANC Women's League both in 2007 and this year, in 2009, 2012, to President Zuma, and therefore she is key to his future inside the ANC. No movement. You talk about the Public Works Minister. He is key to President Zuma. He sits on the Central Committee of the Communist Party, which is a big supporter of President Zuma. And also he can bring in the most militant public sector union, which is SATU, of which he used to be leader. He can bring that in to agree with President Zuma's policies. So, this wasn't about who's doing well, who's not doing well. Because, if people who were not doing well were to be fired, then Angie Musaka, 7 months of kids without textbooks, she would be out on the street.
Interesting times. Justice Malala, thanks for your analysis.
News that moves. eNCA.com.